let's be real. This match is never going to be talked about, despite how good it was, because of how the show ended. And especially since the show had to deliver a lot of stuff, since, you know, this is one of those shows that was like, wait, you mean to tell me a show that's called Extreme Rules is actually following through with Extreme Rules? Like hardcore wrestling matches? My God. And I'm pretty sure this is convenient timing because they're also competing with GCW for Night Supremacy. Now that I think about it, the timing is just all adds up. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure Vince is at home thinking to himself, what have I done? Because he now realizes that he just gave the public the greatest gift of mankind ever wanted from wrestling. A world where he's not running the show. And it probably hurts knowing that this certain employee is now back in the WWE domain after he had vowed never to work with him again because how dare he stand up for himself for individuality and be fat shamed for it. Oh, wait. So yeah, Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins took place as the main event of Extreme Rules because what, you think Roman's going to do something? He's a part-timer now. What, you think the Usos are going to defend the tag titles? What are you, brain dead? I mean, that would be absurd to actually have the champions actually defend the titles every pay-per-view at the very freaking least. We gotta do more character development for Sami Zayn and all his innocent national treasure behaviors. So, yeah, Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle have had animosity with each other for months, especially when Seth Rollins brought up his divorce life. And Matt Riddle even acknowledged that his personal life is in shambles, but professionally he's actually doing pretty well. So, yeah. And considering Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins in real life apparently don't like each other, the fact they got to work this out, it's like, oh, hey, Punk, have you ever thought about just not pissing everyone off and just working out with them like you did with Eddie Kingston? No, you just rather fight? Okay. So, yeah. Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle fought in the Fight Pit to culminate their rivalry once and for all. And oh God, like this match is so good, but like you're thinking, man, it's so good, but we want to talk about the ending more because that's all people are talking about now. No one cares about this match. We could just throw this off to the side and no one would care. Which is sad because these two are actually phenomenally talented people, despite their past misgivings, specifically Seth Rollins' little I hate my critics song. Oh, don't worry, Seth, you got Sammy Guevara taking your place. Oh, God. On that front. Oh, man. At least Seth Rollins acknowledged that, yeah, like half of the things I said were stupid looking back on it. Heck, I even would agree with you that everything Vince was doing was stupid. So, yeah. The Fight Pit match was what you would expect from the Fight Pit. We don't talk about Fight Pit and Patriarch in our world, cuz. So, yeah. That happened, and Matt Riddle, because they have to go ahead and do a spectacular moment to try and regain the audience, because they know what's going to happen after this. This is going to steal their thunder. He hits a Broton. Matt Riddle jumps himself off the top of the pit and crashes into Seth Rollins. And yeah, it's like, yeah, I saw that coming. And they even acknowledged his NXT run and even invited Braun Breaker to showcase this, including Nikita Williams. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. Sorry, I tried to remember it when I heard it. But yeah, we had some NXT acknowledgments in the show. Oh, and I want to bring this up. This match was apparently such a big deal that they brought a journalist to narrate the video package. I can't remember what his name was. And we got MMA legend Daniel Cormier I'm pretty sure I butchered that name too. And to be the special referee, and you were like, see, this is the thing. And I said this is perfectly alright. WWE can have their big action set pieces, they can have their guest stars, they can have their awesomeness explosions now, and AEW can have their theaters and Broadway performances, and that's perfectly alright. This is a summer blockbuster match. And then we get the ending, and then the positions are reversed. Oh, man. So Seth Rollins tries to get out of a triangle chokehold, but yeah, a couple of times he tries to drive Riddle through the cage, but Riddle still gets the triangle chokehold on him, and Rollins is forced to tap, avenging his humiliating defeats and the honor of his divorced life, or something like that, in the vain hope of making his mentor proud of Randy Orton, who's dealing with an injury. Because life sucks. So anyways, you could throw that all out the window and realize that this match was completely pointless when you look at the ending of the show. You see, Michael Cole was about to announce the goodbye everybody, we'll see you all again next time. And it's like, Triple H, you're using your old NXT days. This was fun. And we hear a familiar song. He's got the whole world in their hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. And then we start to see creepy humanoid versions of the Funhouse, along with Piglet from that Winnie the Pooh horror film that's actually a thing, and makes me cry myself to sleep at realizing that we are damned as a species when they try to twist something pure and innocent into morbid and dark and edgy. No tips to it. So yeah, we saw Piglet there. Horror film Piglet. And then we see the Fiend mask, a mask on the announce table, someone dressed up as the Fiend in the crowd, and the camera focuses on that. And then we see the inside of what was once the Firefly Funhouse, desecrated and destroyed through time. And a box opens up with a door, revealing a masked individual. And long and behold, he takes it off to reveal his shell, his former vessel, Bray Wyatt. And the fans go into religious fervor, realizing the king has returned to claim his stake once more in the new regime. Yes, it's good to see Bray Wyatt back. Now, what I'm going to say here is, as much as I would have loved to see him go to AEW, kick ass, take names, and in a perfect world, if Cody had not left, I would have loved to have seen a Cody Rhodes versus Bray Wyatt feud. They'll think about that. Cody might put himself over because I don't know why. But anyways, that and not turn heel like the Fiend character was designed to be inadvertently by accident. But yeah, Bray Wyatt, the other reason I would have loved to see Bray Wyatt come in, other than him honoring Brody Lee, just continuing where Brody Lee started in some aspect, since, it's his one of his loyal friends. I would have also been very interested to see what kind of music Mikey Ruckus would have cooked up for Wyatt for Windham Rotunda. It would have been killer. Much like how I saw Johnny Gargano. Like, I was like, man, it's good to see Johnny Gargano back, and especially in this new Triple H regime. But man, I would have loved to see how Mikey Ruckus would have topped Rebel Heart. Because I definitely think he could have. But we'll never know. One day, maybe. Who knows? Unless AEW implodes on itself because everyone's lost their freaking mind. And Jon Moxley's back trying to trying to team up with Jericho and Bryan to keep what order remains in their Dance of the Elite story going on behind the curtain. But now we have a question. What does Bray Wyatt do in this new kingdom of his to conquer? Will he go after Roman? That seems like an easy answer. Like, okay. I would wait on that because I don't want Bray Wyatt to come back and then go back to the way things were where he just kept losing every big match. By God, that still pisses me off how it was handled. Like, oh God, Vince. And yeah. Now, I definitely think we're going to see Wyatt and Roman down the road. But I think we should wait till, like, after WrestleMania. Like, I can picture it now. Imagine if WWE, because their balls are big enough to think this, we have Roman main event both nights. Night 1, he fights The Rock. Night 2, he fights Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes beats him. And then we end the show with The Fiend with Bray Wyatt attacking Roman, exacting his revenge to topple the Tribal Chief's empire to smithereens. Yeah, that would be a kind of awesome way to end WrestleMania. Like, have it end on a cliffhanger notice after a celebration. And especially having a tease of Bray Wyatt going after Cody soon, because Cody was his mentor in NXT, and Bray Wyatt does acknowledge the past history of continuity, and will have unfinished business with Cody because Husky Harris is still technically canon in the Wyattverse lore. Because Bray Wyatt said in an old deleted tweet, saying, when someone asked him what happened to Husky Harris, say, I needed him, he needed me, I needed a body. So really, Bray Wyatt's a spirit of vengeance, using the body of Husky Harris to carry out his dark deeds. So, yeah, I still remember that. So, yeah, welcome back, Bray Wyatt. Will he go after Rollins? Maybe. Will he go after Riddle? Reason why I say that is because the last person he was wrestling with was Orton, in the most ultra-violent yet also somehow inhumanely purposeless feud that ended with virtually nothing gained and really nothing lost. Yeah, you see the problem here? And, like, Orton's out of action, so what's the next best target? Go after his buddy Riddle. Just hurt Orton somehow in his eyes. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with Bray Wyatt, but with the Triple H regime, I have more confidence than I did with the last regime handling Bray Wyatt and his creative mindset. So, good luck with that. Sorry, Seth and Matt, your match is pretty much forgotten with this wacky, insane ending of insane proportions. You'll have to try again next time. Though this does raise a question: shouldn't they have not spoiled the whole Seth Rollins is going to fight for the U.S. title on the next Raw? And instead, they should have just made this a #1 contendership match. Wouldn't that make more sense? By proxy with the Fight Pit, it just kind of now looks like Seth Rollins is heading into this match very not really over, and Matt Riddle has all the overness, and yet he's not really getting a match for the title. Probably should have waited on that. So, yeah, sorry to Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. You had a good match. You did some crazy spots. But you can't beat The Fiend. You can't beat the Wyattverse. This is Near Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins with Bray Wyatt's epic return. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to my content, and switch below to do for more. I'll see you again next time. Peace and take care. And just remember, people, run.